You're watching a Famicast video review of Pro Yakyū Famista Evolution on the Nintendo Switch. I'm Danny Bivens, the reviewer of this game. When Bandai Namco announced that they were bringing their legendary Family Stadium baseball series to the Switch, I was excited. The series has been going strong since 1986 and has appeared on every Nintendo platform with the exception of the Wii U. The games typically review well in outlets like Famitsu, and the thought of having a fully featured baseball title on the Switch was something I've been yearning for. Now, the wait is over, and Famista Evolution is finally here. Sticking to the traditional roots of the past Family Stadium games, the gameplay in Famista Evolution is easy to get the hang of. Offensively, there is a standard swing, a limited-use power swing, and an option to bunt. For pitching, there's a regular pitch, a special pitch for curveballs, sliders, things like that, and an action to pick off the runners. Fielding stays true to old-school baseball games, as all on-field players that aren't assigned to bases move in the same direction simultaneously. The target player also has the ability to make diving stops and catches. I'm typically not a fan of goofy power-ups in my sports titles, however, the slight additions here don't upset the gameplay. Of course, it's still arcade-style baseball, but there's enough realism for guys like me to scratch that pseudo-sim itch. Overall, the gameplay is fast and responsive. Even when playing the traditional 9 innings of baseball, a full game will only take around 20 to 25 minutes. There are also options to play 3 or 6 inning games for those with less time on their hands. While gameplay in Famista Evolution is intuitive and fun to play, there were a few niggles, namely with fielder positioning. When on defense, players have the option to change where their fielders are positioned. Typically, the normal position is fine, however, I found myself in numerous situations where the opposing team just slammed the ball over my defenders, making me have to run all the way to the warning track to field the ball. It is possible to opt for deeper positioning, however, the sweet spot would be somewhere in between this normal and deep positioning. It's not a deal breaker, but I do find myself positioning my fielders deep more often than not. All of the Japanese pro baseball teams and players are represented in Famista Evolution, as well as a handful of other baseball leagues from Japan. University teams, fringe league teams, team mascots, and even the women's Japanese softball team have made the cut. Evolution does have in-game purchases under a special section of the menu, for what they call team customized items. Gamers can go to the eShop from an in-game portal to purchase a team pack of cosmetic goods, including special uniforms and other visual frills, such as team-based strike or out icons. Now, this sounds egregious. However, it should be noted that this isn't done in an in-your-face kind of manner, but rather is tucked away under a number of menus. Famista Evolution is a packed game with numerous game modes. While the majority of the game can be played with traditional controls, Bandai Namco did add a motion control mode that can be played with 2 to 4 players. All the fielding is done automatically, allowing players to focus on pitching and batting. It feels good enough, but the computer-controlled defense sometimes makes some questionable, bad decisions. I mean, just take a look at what's going on right now. Overall, though, the mode seems to be aimed more at families wanting to play some simple baseball with their kids. Additionally, another Joy-Con mode, Boldo de Famista, a digital baseball board game, is available. This mode can be played on TV or vertically in tabletop mode with 1 or 2 players. While playing on the TV, the screen is cropped to simulate being played vertically, which makes it a little bit hard to see. Players use the joysticks for pitching and hitting. The goal here is to try to get the ball into various spots on the board that equate to hits, runs, or outs. It's a nice throwback addition, but if you want a deeper baseball experience, there are plenty of other modes to turn to. In the Onajimi Famista, or Familiar Famista section, players can access exhibition games, training mode, and a pro baseball pennant race. The pennant race lets gamers choose a team and go through all 143 games of the season in an effort to reach the climax series. The number of innings, difficulty level, the ability to play extra innings, and DH can all be set. As is the norm with sports titles, team and league statistics are kept. Wins, losses, batting averages, ERA, hits, and a whole lot more. The pennant race is a deep mode and a must-play for those that want a no-nonsense baseball experience. The popular Dream Pennant mode makes a return in Famista Evolution. In this mode, players take control of a team that they can customize and upgrade. Starting with the base team, you have to collect Famista points, or FP, and use them in gacha-style machines in an attempt to get better player cards or items. You're free to use these players in games, camps, and other various events found throughout the mode. The goal here is to level them up and make them and your team stronger. While traveling around this game board, you'll encounter numerous characters. They'll offer you various challenges that, if completed, will net you FP. Even in the middle of a game of baseball, the crowd will also request specific actions such as get X number of hits or don't allow any hits if you're on defense. For more, you guessed it, FP. There really is a lot to do in Dream Pennant mode, and for those looking for something different in a baseball game, this might come as a breath of fresh air. Personally, I could do without it, but I can't deny that there are hours of enjoyment sitting in this mode alone. An RPG mode called Famista Fantasy makes an appearance in this iteration of Famista. After naming your hero, players go on a quest through a handful of maps filled with powers, in-game money, and enemies. When players encounter an enemy, they face off in a battle that has a baddie pitching to them in a pinball-like mode. The goal is to hit the ball to cause it to ricochet off bumpers and multipliers. The resulting number represents how much damage you deal to the enemy. Not taking down the enemies in a timely manner will result in heavy damage to yourself and ultimately death. There are 5 maps in total here to complete. Each map requires the players to find a boss character who is guarding a set of stairs that lead to the next level. You're limited in the number of steps you can take along your way to the boss. The goal is to try to grab as many upgrade items as you can before getting there. If you die or complete the mode, you are then presented with a special custom character card that can be used in other modes of the game, namely Dream Pennant. Famista Fantasy isn't super deep, but it is a fun addition to the game, and the light baseball mechanics keep things interesting. Online play also makes an appearance in Famista Evolution. In these one-on-one matches, games are set to 3 innings. It takes a few minutes to get started, but once the game starts, it's pretty much lag-free baseball. Players can play in ranked matches or against friends, and their statistics, including wins, losses, batting average, and more, are put into an online leaderboard. Matchmaking's pretty quick, but I did find myself matched up against the top-ranked player in Japan in 3 out of 4 matches in the same evening. I'll kind of chalk that one up to bad luck or coincidental timing on my part. Bandai Namco has always gone with a simple approach for the Famista series visually. While the stadiums themselves are quite realistic, their player models and cards retain the chibi, pudgy look that the series has been known for since the 80s. Games take place at different times of the day and have appropriate lighting effects and shadows to match. The game runs smoothly, and I never really experienced any issues with the frame rate through my time with the game. The presentation here is top-notch, and the playful music fits the family-friendly arcade action perfectly. I'm not going to sugarcoat it when it comes to language barrier here. Buy at your own risk. There is a lot of Japanese to navigate around, so some language proficiency is advisable. From a pure gameplay perspective, you can still have some fun with Evolution, but you'll be missing out on some of the deeper aspects of the game, like Famista Fantasy or the Dream Pennant mode. If you just want to play some baseball or dive into the pennant race, you should be okay. Pro Yakyū Famista Evolution offers a lot of content and some fantastic gameplay mechanics. Accessibility and getting the most out of the game might be an issue for those that can't understand Japanese. However, there still is a lot that can be enjoyed without that knowledge. Aside from a few niggles with the feeling, Famista Evolution is easily the most fully featured baseball game on Switch and should be on the radar of serious baseball fans. Final score for Pro Yakyū Famista Evolution on the Nintendo Switch, 9 out of 10. Keep it locked here to the Famicast for more reviews, podcasts, special videos, and a whole lot more. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.